Hello, I'm J.R. Stewart, conservative voice of Black America. And this is my video blog number 2, I believe. I think I can count, 1, 2. And actually this is going to be in response to Mr. Roland Martin. I've seen too many videos, too many interviews where this idiot savant, probably more idiot than savant, is asking a question about the plan. You know, he keeps putting the camera and mic in front of people's face. Where's the plan? Where's the plan? You know, Hillary has a plan. I've read the plan. Where's Trump's plan for HBCUs? Where's his plan to create jobs in the inner city? Where's his plan? Where's the plan? Where's the plan? Constantly. And unfortunately, the people that he's asking really don't have a good answer for him. Why? Because, well, they're not me. But he would never ever interview me and ask me that question because I would give him the answer about the plan. First, I would tell him, give him a little background history on the plan, on how plans work in government. Since he says Hillary has this plan, a plan put together by Harvard experts and from Princeton and Yale and these left-wing nutcases, think tanks, call them nutcases, but no, officially they're called think tanks, but they're really people who never have done any of the things that they're studying and writing papers on. So these people are the ones who come up with all these plans. So let's examine a really good idea and then how the plan got developed and how it evolved into nothing. So there's this guy named Stewart, I believe. And you may never heard of him. He's no one famous really. But he did something kind of remarkable back in the 80s. He came with the concept that maybe, just maybe, if we open up a gym at night and throw a few basketballs out there and let some kids, play basketball, midnight basketball, maybe start a league, organize it a little bit. Maybe some of these kids who are getting into trouble, maybe, just maybe, they would use that energy and that sugar to do something productive. Exercise, get some air in their lungs, breathe, shoot some hoops, hang out with the fellas. Got a few community-minded people involved, a few law enforcement officers to come by, make sure we keep the peace. And what they found was that it actually worked. That the crime rate went down, especially after hours when the sun went down. The crime rate in these areas where they had the midnight basketball actually went down. So now you have something, a concept, that was actually implemented, and it turned out with some good results. All good, right? Yes. Until the government gets involved with the plan. See, Bill Clinton came along, put together a crime bill, which a lot of black folks are bellyaching about because that crime bill put a lot of black people in jail. Yes. But, see, I have a brain, and I remember things. I know people like Roland Martin and MSLSD don't want people like me, black folks, to think and remember things. But I remember a lot of black people complaining about drive-by shootings and killings and, fighting over crack, the crack market, asking the government to do something about it. So I can't really fault Bill Clinton in his response to people crying about crime. So he did something about it. Well, now we look at the results of his crime bill and we say we don't like it. But that was $33 billion to be spent on fighting crime. Of that $33 billion, $50 million was carved out for the Midnight Basketball League. See, somebody in the Clinton administration went to him and said, hey, boss, they got this thing called the Midnight Basketball League that seems to be cutting crime in some of these cities that they've implemented it in. If we could just roll it out nationwide, put a plan together, just imagine what we could accomplish. And the Clinton administration took it to Newt Gingrich, and some other conservative Republicans, showed them the data. The data all proved out to be true. Congress had hearings on it, they talked about it, they brought in people who were involved, and they all said the same thing. Law enforcement, community leaders, all said the same thing. This is a great concept. It would be great if the United States government, Congress, would fund, put some money up, and roll this thing out. $50 million. So you would think, wow, $50 million buys a lot of basketballs. Yes. All the nets. Yes. No, it doesn't. Here's what $50 million get you. $50 million get you the plan. See, the money got spent on the plan. Hundreds and hundreds of pages. See, what they didn't do, they didn't go get Mr. Standifer or anybody that was involved with opening the rec center up, tossing the basketballs out, turning the lights on, maybe even putting a chalkboard up so you can write your name on who's next, make it fair for everyone. Maybe have a scoreboard, operator, or even a law enforcement officer who would roll by and participate and get involved. Nobody at the root level, ground level, was even called to get involved with putting the plan together, even though they're the ones who were doing it day in and day out. Because if you ain't got one of these people, they would have said, let me see, this is how you do it. You open up the rec center, you flip on the lights, yeah, you throw out the basketballs, maybe get a whistle, okay, guys go at it, play basketball. That can't be the plan. See, that's not even a paragraph. What are you talking about? Are you stupid? Are you insane? Government doesn't operate that way. Hold on. Let me go get $50 million and we'll do this right. Let me go get the Harvard think tank, Yale, Princeton, Brown, Cornell. Let me go get the people who know how to organize a midnight basketball league. Not one of these people has ever played basketball or put the plan together. They studied the right size, dimension of the basketball, how much air needs to be put into the basketball. They had all these kind of regulations, rules around the standards for a basketball. And then, see, with that, so when you have a plan, that's just the first part. For every 1 page of plan, there's 10 pages of regulations. And there's at least 2 bodies that go with it. Because somebody has to certify the basketball. Then you have to have a compliance person who makes sure that they only play with compliant basketball. You can't just go get a Spalding or a basketball off the shelf, Wilson off the shelf, and just throw it out there and play basketball like they were doing before. Oh no! The plan calls for a basketball that meets certain specifications. It has to be certified by someone that you met the certification. And then somebody has to come by and make sure that those basketballs that they're playing with meet the guidelines. That was just on the basketballs. It was the water fountain. It was the water pressure coming out of the water. The water had to be tested to make sure that when you drank the basketball, when you were thirsty from playing basketball, and you go to the fountain and you turn it on, you can't bend too much. So the water had to come up to meet a certain height level. Had to have a certain water pressure behind it. Then the water itself had to be tested to make sure it was clean under the Clean Water Act. You know, you just can't have people drinking any kind of water. Then you may say, well, wait a minute, JR. Weren't they drinking this water before all these regulations and rules in the plan? Well, no, liberals don't want you asking questions like that. Man, it's because it's all about the plan. Everything with them is about the plan. You don't understand. Don't ask sensible questions. Don't ask logical stuff. The plan is all you have to focus on. They got the regulations, over 100-some pages of regulations on the basketball, the water fountain, the scorekeeper, the lights, the bulbs that you use, all had to be regulation after regulation. They had to be certified. You have to have specifications on them. Everything had to have a regulation and a rule and a compliance to go with it. Everything, the bathroom, the toilet paper, the soap that you use, everything. Okay, well, by the time you went through everything, hundreds and hundreds of pages of the plan on how to do a midnight basketball league, something that Standifer and other people were doing before the Clintons came along, before the government got involved. They were just opening the place up, turning the lights on, throwing some basketballs out, getting a few people from the city to come around and keep the peace, law enforcement officers dropping by, keeping score. Some even organized into leagues. So they had teams, they would come in and practice. It was all good. I mean, they just did it. But then the government got involved. Bill Clinton got involved. They had to get the plan. $50 million Not one basketball was purchased. Not one, with $50 million. The money was spent on the plan. Then, of course, we're ready to implement now. We have pushed it down to the cities. They're looking at the hundreds upon hundreds of pages of regulation on how to do a midnight basketball. Who knew it took all of this to do a midnight basketball league? Who knew? Well, the government knew. They know better. It's all about the plan. So the cities, they looked through it. They read it. They said, oh my God, we have to do all of this just for some guys to play basketball at night? Okay. Well, Mr. Government, Mrs. Government, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, here's what it's going to cost for us to do this. We can't afford it. No problem. No problem, because with the plan, there's going to be at least 100,000 pages of regulation to go with it. We're going to need at least 3,000 folks to go do the certification, to do the compliance, the oversight, and do all the paperwork that's going to be involved. Not a problem. Just go back to Congress and get some more money. Mr. Congress, we need several $100 million. For what now? So we can play basketball that night. See, Congress already approved the initial $50 million to get us started, and we got the plan now. You know, here's hundreds per year. Read it. This is the plan. The cities say they need X number of dollars to implement. We need a couple $100 million now to make this work. So I'm happy to report, of course you all know the story. The Republicans had enough sense to say, you know what, we're out. We're out of the Midnight Basketball League business if it's going to cost this kind of money. We thought we gave you $50 million that you're going to go out and buy some basketballs, buy some nets, even pay a few people, put some people to work. That'll be years before you came back asking for any more money. $50 million to play basketball? Surely. There are no pros out there. You're not signing contracts for any players. You're just buying some basketballs, right? Scoreboard, maybe replacing some lights, maybe even buying some towels every now and then to hand out, a trophy or two. $50 million wasn't enough? You're saying you need $2, $3, $40 million to do this? And then, of course, when they don't give you the money, guess what happens? Well, you know that do-nothing Republican Congress didn't want to put money together, didn't want to give money to fund Midnight Basketball League that would help inner city kids, youth, stay off the streets, stay out of trouble. They don't care about black people, they're racist. Anytime you oppose liberals, the liberal Progressive Democrats, you're always racist. You'll notice that people who were not racist before, if they ever run against a liberal Progressive Democrat, they just transform, all of a sudden become a racist. Donald Trump he was on TV for years, wasn't a racist. Now all of a sudden he's a racist. If you question them, you ask them questions. So Roland Martin, so here's my question to you, and you like to interview people, ask people, let's see the plan. How in the world can you create a plan to put people to work? Because if the government has to put the plan together to put something to work, here's generally how it goes down. Mr. Congress, we need several $1 billion for this job program. How many people are you going to put to work? Maybe 1,000 or so. What? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, we're going to pay them $9 an hour. We're going to pay them, whatever minimum wage is plus another $1. Well, that doesn't add to several $1 billion. Well, but for us to pay them $9 an hour, it's going to cost. We're going to need $200 an hour, $300 an hour to make it work. What? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, we got overhead. So we got to hire people. We got rules and regulations. We got administrators, bureaucrats, Washington. We got to have office space. We got a glut of offices. The federal government already has too many buildings now. Just take one of the empty. No, we can't do it. We'll build another one. So we need money to put people to work. See, that's their plan. Then you go out to Hillary's website and find whatever this magic plan is that Roland Martin, idiot savant, keeps talking about. And then on top of that, here's the big $64,000 question, Mr. Idiot Savant Roland Martin. If you believe in Hillary's plan and it's going to solve everything, why aren't you and Hillary taking the plan to POTUS Obama and giving it to him because he don't have a clue how to create jobs. I don't know, we have a jobless recovery. Obviously, he doesn't have a clue as to how to create jobs, so he must not have the plan, whatever his magic plan is. Why don't you print the plan off and say, hey, look, dog, let me come out of the White House. Let me, you and Hillary sit down, have a beer, and let's go over this plan. She's figured it out. If you just take this to Congress, go sell it to Ryan and Mitch McConnell, Hillary already has the plan to fix everything. Man, you could be a hero. And you can start the groundwork for the plan so when she becomes president, we'll already be in the plan and everything will be good at that point. It'll all be good in the hood. See, so when Roland Martin, next time people out there, next time an idiot savant Roland Martin asks you about the plan for Donald Trump, see, Donald Trump, because Republicans believe in people, and to him, he would just say, hey, let me go out and find some business people who are smart, who have created jobs in the past, and I'll put them in charge of creating, putting something together, policies, to create jobs. And then, guess what? We'll look at the results. If they don't get the job done, well, we know how it goes on The Apprentice. When you don't get the job done with Donald Trump, you're fired. Let me get somebody else. When they fire one person off the team, somebody else on the team moves up into the hot seat. Now it's your responsibility to make it happen. And they just keep firing people until they get to the one person who knows how to make it happen. I'm okay with that process. I don't need a plan for that. To me, that's a good enough plan right there. Put people in charge who are competent. If they don't get the job done, fire them, which is unheard of in the federal workforce. You don't fire people. That's also part of the master plan, for their job creation. They don't fire anybody. So next time he asks you about the plan, where's Trump's plan for HBCU? Where's his plan for the inner city? Where is his plan? Where is his plan? Where is his plan? Ask him, Martin, in all due respect, you idiot, what plan of the federal government has ever worked out the way it was supposed to? This is why you don't let the government build cars. The Russian government tried to build cars. Look what happened. This is why the government doesn't build planes or tanks. They outsource it to the private industry. If the Indians could build a tank, they would. You think if they want to spend $2 billion on a tank, $10 billion on a plane? No. If they could build it themselves any better than private industry, they would. But they don't. Because the government is not very good with managing other people's money. Why? Because there's no profit or loss for them. They can print as much money as they want. They can tax people to get as much money as they want. They can confiscate as much wealth as they want. Businesses have to be smart about making money, creating jobs. It's a difference. Businesses will do it try to find the most efficient way to use their resources to get maximum results. The government will spend maximum money for the least results. But when there's no worry about the bottom line, they can do that. Idiot savant Roland Martin, don't you understand that? All these plans that you keep talking about and praising Hillary Clinton, if that damn plan was so damn good, if it was so good, her plan, Hillary has a plan, I've read it, she got a plan, take it to the president and implement it. Why is she holding on to, why is it on the website only you and Hillary know about the plan? Why don't y'all go sell it to the president? I'm sure he would love to have your plan. That's going to solve everything. I'm getting ready to close, and I'm going to say in closing that for these people who think that we're losing the battle, keep your head up. We're actually winning the battle. We're going to win this war. So if Trump doesn't win, it's okay. It really is. Because the Republican Party would never, ever nominate another Bush, another McCain, another Romney. Nice people. But we would never, ever nominate another weak candidate to represent us. From here on, it's going to take fighters to get us motivated, to come out to the polls, to get involved. If you're not willing to roll your sleeve up and fight, Ted Cruz, you didn't do enough to show that you're willing to fight against Hillary. You want to fight against Trump? Okay, fine. You'll fight against Trump. You want to get mad at him, upset? Okay, fine. You should have used some of that passion to go against Hillary. Not just wait till the very end when it's pretty much over to start trying to attack Hillary. Carly actually had it right. And I wish that she would have gotten a nominee, to be totally honest. She's a fighter. She's very smart. Yeah, I think she would have done great against Hillary. I wish she would have got picked as a VP. But you know what? We have the ticket that we have, so we're going to live with it. It's okay. And we may lose a short-term battle with the next election. Hillary may get elected. And black people in the country are going to suffer for it. Roland Martin and his cronies, the folks at MSLSD, the Clinton News Network, CNN, they'll be happy. And as the country continue to go to hell, everything that the Democrats touch eventually rots. They plant the seed of destruction. It eventually grows into rot. Everything they touch. Eventually, some people start to figure that out, and some people are getting tired about it. Some people start to make noise. And if we have to suffer through more rot and decay and deterioration, okay, so be it. We're a tough country. We'll survive. You know, it's not the end of the world because Hillary gets elected. It wasn't the end of the world when Obama got elected. It set us back. We're worse off for it, but we'll survive. The country will still be here when Obama walks his ass out of the office. It'll still be here when Hillary walks out, she's elected. In somewhere, the Republican Party is going to get their act together, stop nominating these banana, jellyfish, spineless, weak folks, and we have something we're still in the party that we have to purge out. That's going to take some time. But we have to be the clear opposition party to Democrats. We cannot be like them. They are destructive. We shouldn't even be friends with them. We should have a personal dislike for Democrats and everybody who is a Democrat. A lot of them are Democrats out of ignorance. You know, but it's up to us to tell the truth about that raggedy, skanky party. All the dirt that they've done historically against black people. How they destroyed the black family. Took jobs away from black men. You know, they say, hey, pick yourself up. Go, you know, be responsible. Take care of your kids. But you're taking the jobs away from us. You conspired with the unions to do that. You did that, Democrats. Democratic Party. You broke our families up on purpose for a vote. Just so you can stay in power? You did that and continue to do it. But you know what? Democrats are just doing what they always intend to do, to be in power. Black folks who are taking the bait have to stop. And it's up to us, people like me, to get the word out, to educate black folks, to teach, to inspire, to motivate. And that's what I plan on doing. So Roland Martin, whenever I see you on TV, if I see you on TV more than 3 times saying something stupid, ignorant, and dumb, asinine, ridiculous, where's the plan? Where's the plan? Where's the plan? You know what? You're going to be mentioned in my video blog. Now, my video blog didn't reach many people. So, but who knows? It may go viral one day. It may reach millions of people. But I guarantee I'm going to do everything I can to expose people like you. So you'll be hearing from me. Peace out.